Okay, so first we'll start with HTML so that it will be easy for web applications, whatever technology you write. Uh, HTML is very important in web technologies. Okay, so what is HTML? It is a hypertext markup language, and HTML is a markup language. Is set of markup tags. Tags describes document content and contains HTML tags and plain text, also called as web pages. Okay, so why this HTML? All the browsers in the world, okay, whatever, if you take IE, Google Chrome, Opera, whatever browser you are using, all they know the language of HTML only. Whatever you write in ASP.NET, Java, PHP, whatever language, that cannot be understandable by your browser. Browsers can only understand HTML, CSS and JavaScript. On top of JavaScript, whatever libraries develop, those libraries can be understandable by your browsers. So whatever technology you write, end of the day, they have to be converted to HTML so that the browsers can understand what you have written, and they will show the pages, fields, whatever are there. Okay, so whatever website you open, if you right click on that website page and you click on view page source or view source, it will be full of HTML, JavaScript and CSS only. Okay, no other language. Okay, that's why HTML is very important in web technologies. So how the basic structure of a HTML page is? It is HTML entirely. Your entire page will be in a HTML section, and then under that we have a head section. Okay, just think like a human body, how it is. Okay, so it is a main root, and then head, and then body. Okay, so HTML head, body. Inside body you will have many tags. Those are different types of tags are there. They are used for inputting the user uh, data, and another is displaying the data. So we have two categories of controls. One is three categories. One is input input controls or input elements. In HTML, when we come to HTML, all we treat as elements or tags. Okay, so all input elements, and then display elements, and then invisible elements which maintains the data. Okay, so this is the basic structure of a HTML page. HTML head, body. Under body you will have different elements. Okay, now introduction to CSS. What is CSS? So CSS is cascading style sheets. Styles define how to display HTML elements. Styles were added to HTML 4.0 to solve a problem. So from HTML 4.0, CSS existed. External style sheets can save a lot of work. External style sheets are stored in .css files. All HTML files will have extension .html. All CSS files will have .css extensions. Okay, a CSS file allows to separate website's HTML content from its style. So just see, it is just adorning. So it is just decorating your page with some styles. It can be a bold letter, it can be underlined letters, italic, and even sometimes some beautiful UI coloring the content. Okay, so whatever style, however you want to look and feel, provide look and feel for your web page. So all these are possible by your cascading style sheets. Okay, and now JavaScript. So JavaScript is a scripting language, is a lightweight programming language, and then that can be inserted into HTML pages. Okay, JavaScript inserted into HTML pages can be executed by all modern browsers. So JavaScript is another programming language that is only executes on your browsers. Okay, and it is mainly used to control all your HTML pages, the actions, the events, whatever occur or raised in your HTML pages. To handle all those, we use JavaScript. On top of JavaScript, we have many libraries. One is jQuery, and then AngularJS, Kendo UI, okay, like that, Knockout.js, like that. Many JavaScript libraries came, but for all of them, the base is JavaScript. Okay, so just like C, on top of C, we developed the Java, .NET, and then even C++. How on top of these things developed? So on top of JavaScript, there are many libraries developed. So to learn those libraries, JavaScript is very, very important. Okay, these three combinations, so HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, these three combinations can only be executed by your browsers. Okay, so how it is related to MVC means, so end of the day, whatever you have written in MVC, MVC is a web application framework. Okay, so web application development technology, ASP.NET MVC. So whatever you have written in MVC, finally it has to be rendered in a browser. So the browser can only understand combination of these three. So end of the day, your MVC has to convert your code into some HTML, CSS, and JavaScript response. Okay, so before that, you guys do. I hope that it will be better to learn about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript before starting with MVC. That's why I started with this client-side technologies. Okay. Now jQuery, it is again a simple thing developed on top of JavaScript. Anyway, this jQuery also we are going to learn in this course, and Node.js, and these are all again on top of JavaScript only developed. So this Node.js and AngularJS we are not going to learn, and this Bootstrap also one kind of CSS framework which is used. It is also on top of CSS it is developed. So there is some basic technology. On top of that, people started developing their own libraries for their own purpose. So Bootstrap is Twitter framework. Okay, Bootstrap is a UI framework, and it is mainly used by Twitter, and it gives you the way for a simple website that can be developed. Sorry. So a website is developed that can be run on a system as well as your mobiles and your tabs. Wherever you open that URL can be visible. Means, so how you can see a website on a browser, your laptop or computer browser, it shouldn't change the field. So it has to work, and it has to adjust the elements in that page according to the client where you are opening your website. So it can be a mobile client, it can be a computer, or it can be a tab. Wherever you open, the website should work properly, and the elements should be organized and arranged properly. So to do that, Bootstrap is very, very important. Okay, so and then JSON also we are going to discuss. So JSON is very, very important. All modern technologies, they are using JSON format to exchange the data. So from client side to server side, if you want to send data, in earlier days people were using XML format. Okay, XML is heavier when we compare with JSON. Okay, JSON is very lightweight and easy to understand. It is a key value pair. Okay, so that's why all the modern technologies they started implementing are using this JSON format of data. Okay, what is the data and all we will see, but what this course we are going to learn, what are the topics I am just discussing. Okay, so it is very less. Give me a second, guys. So if you see the jQuery, how it is used, okay, is a fast and small feature-rich JavaScript library. Makes things like HTML document traversal and manipulation, event handling, animation, and Ajax much simpler with an easy-to-use API that works across multiple browsers. So jQuery slogan is write less, do more. This is primary reason jQuery is so popular with nearly 50 million websites using it. Okay, so you can see the statistics of jQuery, how it is using. Okay, in business applications, the usage is 22,500. When shopping applications, 12,500, and you can see. So top 1 million sites we are using the jQuery. Okay, AngularJS, this is another library that anyway we are not going to discuss. Okay, so JQuery, these are frameworks and their comparison. I will share this document. You can search for, you can go through it. JSON, and then browser share on web. So how many browsers, what are different types of browsers and the uses in the globe, how it is. So most used browser is Internet Explorer, then Chrome, then anyway Microsoft Explorer. It has different versions. So all the versions they have listed here. After Microsoft IE, Chrome is the major one, and then Firefox and others. Okay, so evolution of web. So 1990s, so HTML is in use. Then 2.0 in 1995 they released. 1997 3.2, and then 2000 they introduced in 1999 4.0.1. From there XHTML. So XHTML means, so this is some advanced extensible hypertext markup language. Okay, so now in 2000, recently, very recently, from 2010 they released HTML5 framework. So that's what we are going to learn. Okay, how the web works means, so you have a server where your application deployed. That application will be requested from any client machine with the HTTP request. That request will be sent to the server. That server will process the request and sends the response in form of HTML. Okay, that is the process actually happens between any web technology. It is not only ASP.NET but anything, any web technology that works in the same fashion. Okay, so this is a simple HTML markup language. How it will be, you can see the sample. So if you type in a notepad something like this, okay, HTML head title is your page title. So in the below the browser image you can see what is the title for it, that page, and the body. So whatever inside body you have written other than input elements, okay, if you use display elements, the display elements are we'll discuss anyway those elements. So whatever you write, the content inside a display content, that will be directly displayed on our web page. And the title tag is very important to display the page of the title of your page. So here you can see my first HTML page. So where you have written that, you have written in title tag or title element. Okay, and the body below, this is some text that will appear on the web page. Okay, this is where we have written is, that is under p element or p tag. Okay, this is very simple hypertext markup language. Okay, so that is, we this entirely depends on tags or elements. The tags what we call as in less than and greater than symbol in between whatever so it is basically derived from XML. Okay, all the XMLs also will be like this, root node and then child nodes inside it. So the root node here is HTML tag. After that you have head tag inside it. So inside head you have title tag. So each tag has to be opened and closed properly. Otherwise, it will throw some syntax. It won't throw any syntactical error, but the display will change. Okay, so you have to be very careful while writing HTML. The opening tag and closing tag should be there, properly used. Okay, so title tag opened and title tag closed. In between that, whatever content you have given, that is treated as the content of that element. Whatever you have written in between the opening tag and closing tag. So opening tag will be just the name whatever you use within angular brackets, and then closing tag is just the forward slash and the same name of the starting tag inside angular brackets. So that is called closing tag. Okay, even XML also will be in the same format. Okay, so this is how the hypertext markup language will be. So we will see different types of elements what are available in hypertext markup language. Okay, so this is header section and then body section. Okay, so we have different types of tags. All these are display tags. Okay, so one is heading tags, h1, h2, h3. These are very important. This will give you a predefined format. Okay, the text can be displayed in different sizes based on the tag you used, h1, h2 and h3. And paragraph tags are just to define a paragraph. Okay, whatever you have written inside these paragraph tags, this will be displayed first. Okay, and then the next paragraph whatever you have written, so here we have two paragraphs, so it will give you the content in a new line. That is the only difference. And then div and span, we have div tag and span tag. So div tag, these are mainly for some sections. So your entire page you can divide into multiple sections. Each section you can keep inside a div tag or a span tag. So if you want to see the samples, we can see. So to execute this, you don't need any software to be installed. You just need a notepad and then a very latest browser installed on your machine. Okay, so HTML head, getting started with HTML, and this is the close tag. Okay, now sorry, here I have to put title tag. And then body. So inside body I can write all the display elements. So one is header tags, h1, h2, h3. Like this we have up to h6. Okay, all header tags are till h6. So if you see in your word document, you might have seen already these headers. So h1, h2, h3, like that. Okay, so you can just save this document on your desktop or wherever you want. This one I need to change the extension as HTML. Okay, now you can open with any modern browser, so you can see the text variation. Okay, So this is how your header tags works. Okay, and then we have paragraph tag. So it will give the content in 2 lines. So we just refresh this page. So or else you can use Notepad++. This one is a free, you can download. It will highlight the syntax. Okay, now so you can see in 2 lines it has given the paragraph tag. These are all simply display purpose, and you can nest. Nesting means you can use elements one inside one. Okay, so inside a paragraph tag again you can use h1. In h1 again you can use p, like that. So these are interchange. You can use them as you want, and even div tag. Okay. And then we have span tag. So you can see that. So these are mainly for display purpose. Okay, and they can be used nested one inside one. So the length can be, means the nesting can be any levels. So nesting means just inside p tag again you can use h2. Here also h2, here h3, here h3. This is called nesting. So this nesting you can use n number. That nesting means inside again this h2 tag you can keep again one more p tag, like that. So you can use that nesting n levels. Okay, so this is what mainly html. So these are display elements, and this is something we have used. So just now we developed some example. So we have different tags used in html. That is b tag, that is used for bold, to represent your content in bold letters, and I, so italicized, so u, to underline your content or text. So super, so sup, if you use sup, that is superset, and sub means subset. Okay, so this super and subset we'll see with a simple example. Okay, super. Before that, what you have to do is, so first jar I want to print. So what I will do is super space jar 2016. Normally, if you put that, it may not work. So you can see. So here, first Jan it came. Okay. So it may not work if you it will not work if you directly give first Jan. Like in our Word documents, it cannot give you directly. So the other variant is like this. This is directly superset. So that is the superset usage. And then subset, it will give the below strong, it will represent your text in strong. So em means emphasized, pre means so formatted text. So whatever the way you have written your html, the same way it will be displayed. Okay, so normally some text you need to display in different by default adjusted according to your browser, but when you use pre, whatever the way you have written on your page, the same way it will be displayed. Black quote, quoted text block. Okay, delete, so deleted text it will strike through. So those are the different elements, formatting elements we can use for the text. Okay, so now we have header tag. Inside header tag, the very important elements what we can use is title, style, base, link, meta, and script tags. Okay, as we discussed earlier, CSS and JavaScript, they are used to, one is used to decorate your HTML, another is used to control your HTML elements. So how they will be included in your HTML file. So that is where by using a style tag as well as script tag, we use those files in our text. Okay, in our hypertext markup language files. Okay, in our html pages we will use these tags under header tag, so that the external references for those files will be added, so that they will directly control your page display and even the data. Okay, that we will see in example once we move to css and javascript. Okay, so this html is supported by all major browsers. Okay, so and then meta tag, this is mainly used for search engine optimization. Okay, it will have name and one is content and another is keywords. These two attributes will be there, so they are used for mainly SEO. So you can see meta name, so this is actually head is the element, HTML element. So inside that angular brackets, if you use some words like this, okay, char set equal to utf8, something like that, those we will call as attributes of that elements, and they define the behavior of that element. Okay, so one meta tag is used to define in what char sets are used on your web page, and second one is used to describe the content of your page, what content is there on your page. Third is third defined to third one is keywords, that defines what are different types of keywords repeatedly used. So the most used keywords on your web page, and finally the fourth one is name author, that defines who is the author of this page. Okay, so tips and tricks are just tags always goes inside head element, and metadata always passed as name value pair. Okay, name is the name and content is the actual value. Okay, and content attribute must be defined if the name or http equivalent attribute is defined. If none of these are defined, the content attribute cannot be defined. Okay, so these are mainly for SEO purpose, not required for our development. And then title tag, whatever name you give in title tag, that comes on top of your web page. Okay, so you can see the examples here, title, html, reference, like that. And then style tag is used to define the css on your page, or even you can refer an external css file to your page. Okay, the style tags, so the styles, defining the css styles is very easy. So you need to, you can give the elements the style by using the element names or element IDs. Okay, like that we have different things that we will see once we move on to CSS, but these are just to use it to define the color or the the how the display of your content on your page. Okay, so inside style tag you can write your css. Here if you see style, under that for h1 tag you use color red, p tags you use color blue. That's what defined. So the same example I will do it here. Style, okay, h1, same whatever he has given, I am going to give that p tag color blue. Okay, if you refresh this page, all are now black, they will get changed. So p tag it has to come, but here we used h2 tags. If you remove this, so you can see a blue color applied here and red color applied here. So these are css styles. You can even use more styles are there, we will discuss in detail in the css class. Okay, so script tag, this is mainly used to write your javascript on your page, or you can refer an external javascript file to your html page, and the javascript whatever is there in that file can be used in your html page. So this script tag can be used to write your javascript. Okay, so javascript are all the javascript dependent libraries you can use, or you can call those methods by using you have to write the code inside the script tag. Okay, so that is script tag, and we will see in detail when we move to javascript. Okay, and then html link. So if any web page, if you see, there will be some links. Okay, home link, so click on here, click here, move here, so navigate here, something like that. So wherever you click it will open a different page, right? All those are called html links. So the link, oh sorry, links are mainly used to refer external style sheets. Sorry, that navigation is mainly anchor tag. This link is mainly used to refer your external css files. Okay, you can see theme.css here they are using. Okay, and then now we have hyperlink tags. These are actual anchor tags, whatever link to telerik web or some loop, so something like this. So anchor tags mainly used to give a navigation between other page, one page to other page. Image tags just to display images on your web page. Image tags are used, just you need to give the source of, source means where the image exists, the path of the image. If you give, it will execute, it will show the image. Okay, text formatting we have emphasized, and br is mainly for new line, strong. So anyway, these things we saw in the first table. Okay guys, I'm going little fast because anyway we use all these things when we go to MVC in practical. So theoretically I'm giving you what or what. Okay, so hyperlinks mainly used for linking between two pages, images to display images on your web page. Text formatting is mainly to format your text, the display of your text. Okay, if you want you can see the examples here, all the things. Okay, like this, and then attribute is alt. Okay, what is XHTML? Stands for extensible hypertext markup language, almost identical to HTML, stricter than HTML. So HTML is not that much syntactically, it won't validate your page. So when you open a tag and if you don't close, it considers, it tries to execute with the errors whatever you have written. But XHTML is syntactically, it is very strict, and you have to, if you open a tag you have to close that tag. Okay, So this is just like HTML, but the rules they made little harder, okay, to make the application development very easy. So XHTML is HTML defined as an XML application, okay, supported by all major browsers. Okay, there is no difference. Don't bother about XHTML and HTML as two variants, but there is no difference. But just few more features added to existing HTML. So from HTML and XHTML, the differences are doc type is mandatory. Okay, XHTML doc type is mandatory. The XML attributes in HTML is mandatory, and HTML head, title and body are mandatory. You should have these tags in your HTML documents. So XHTML elements properly nested, always be closed, must be in lowercase and must have one root element. Okay, so maybe some example. If you see here, all XHTML should have a document type. So this document type is HTML. You are defining it here. So HTML head body tags should be there. So the tags are there. Okay, and all the tag names should be in lowercase. You can see it here. Okay, and properly opened and closed. So header tag opened and closed here. So these are the few things you have to follow in XHTML development, and we are going to develop in XHTML only. Okay. So all attributes also in the lowercase, and attribute values must be quoted inside quotes. Attribute minimization is forbidden. Okay, that is not in our scope. So document type is mandatory. Document must have an XHTML doc type declaration. A complete list of all the docs is found in HTML tag references. Okay, so that is not that much important. Okay, you can see here the doc type HTML public. So if you are using any DTD means data transfer object some schema type, so what it has to follow on your page, but don't bother about that URL. Okay, this is the basic structure of a XHTML document. So document type HTML, and then the HTML head, body and HTML closing tag. So like this it has to be used. And then hypertext markup language, the common HTML tags used very often are list tags. Okay, UL, OL and LI. So ordered list and list item. Okay, so how they are used is, so ordered list OL, inside that we will have LI 1. Guys, if you are not understanding, please raise a question so that I can clarify you. Okay, so this is ordered list. So you can see ordered list means it will give 1, 2, 3 as the numbers, and then so some bulleted points, just like in your Word document 1, 2, 3 it will give. Unordered means it won't give the numbers. Same thing, but it won't give the numbers. So I will copy the same UL UL. So it gives only dots. Ordered list means it gives numbers, but here it gives dot or whatever symbol. If you want, you can use that symbol. That is the difference between ordered list and unordered list, and it gives the bulleted list for you on your web page. And table tag is mainly used to represent your data in tabular format. your content. So first name, last name, and then however in ASP.NET we have seen, right? So the same thing, the data table in grid, how we are representing the data, same way you can represent your data on your web page by using table. Okay, that also we'll see. Table, tr means row, td, okay, number, okay, column 1 row 0, column 1 row 1. I will give cell 1 1. Okay, this is today, this is today, cell 1 2. Okay, I will close it here. The tr means a single row, td cell 1 2, sorry, 2 1, td 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 here, cell 2 2, and then tr. So you can see the tabular format it has displayed. If you give a border here, and see, even though I didn't close table, it is allowing me because this is normal HTML. If it is XHTML, it will not allow. So you can see the data cell 1, cell 2, cell 2 1, cell 2 2. So something like this in tabular format, if you want to show, you can use table tag. Okay, division tag we have seen horizontal line, so it will give a straight line horizontally to separate the content. Okay, so that is just you give horizontal, and okay, you see this. You can see a line is separated between the content. That's why we use horizontal tag. Okay, list tags, order list and unordered list we just saw. Table tag we just saw. Okay, just table, and then tr means table row, th means table header. So if you have some header elements, it will give that, and td is table data. Okay, table cell data, you can display that. Div tag, you have seen this anyway, and then hr tag just now saw. Br tag, a line break. Okay, we have a content. If we have a content, continuous contents, we have writing something like this, and if you want to give a break, you just give a break and write like this. Maybe in here you have written everything in single line, but when you go to browser, those two will be separated like this. So a new line will be given. That's where br is used. And come to HTML5. So HTML5 is a core technology markup language. And why this is introduced means in 2014 it got updated, final and completed fifth revision of the HTML5 standards of the world, W3C. The previous version is HTML4 was standardized in 1997. So why this HTML5 means? So if you see earlier to this 2014, many things are there, like YouTube, they use Adobe Player to show the videos, and if you go to some other pages, Microsoft pages, they are using Silverlight to show their videos. Okay, so there are many plugins like Adobe, there are many things. Microsoft, for them there are many things. If you go to Java, applets are there. So by using applets, they show some content on the page. All these are mainly to smoothen your web pages, and the experience for the users should be very smooth and attractive. So they different companies, they design their different way of representation for the data or content, and even the elements. So the image elements, the video elements, the multimedia elements, they are using on their own way, and there is no standard for them, but everything they are rendering to your browser. So the very first time when you install operating system on your machine and you open YouTube, means the very next time it will ask for a plugin to your browser, that is Adobe Player, right? So the same way, if you are running some MSN videos, they will ask you to install some Silverlight plugin. So there are many plugins to render your content on the page, and they are developed a company specific. Okay, so there is no standard. They are developing their own plugins and they are adding to browsers to make it standardized. What this W3 World Wide Web Consortium, what they have done is, for HTML they have introduced few elements, so that these elements will be used to render the content the same way how they are rendering by using their own mechanism now. Okay, so that there won't be any new plugins to be installed to see your content, multimedia content, or even some kind of controls became standard, or more often they are used in web pages. Okay, so if you think some rounded corners, so these rounded corners are very standard nowadays in web pages. So all these things they consider, and they introduced to the new version of HTML5, and they made it available for common public in 2014. So nowadays all the web applications they are developed by using HTML5 and CSS3, jQuery or AngularJS. AngularJS not yet get popular, so it is growing in a very fast pace, and jQuery already established, people are using it. Okay, so HTML5 came to resolve many dependencies on the local or company specific plugins. Okay, they introduced few more elements. So HTML5 interesting new elements are header, footer, article, section. Okay, these elements were not there, and even control types. We have some input controls that we will discuss. So all these input controls, they doesn't have these formats earlier. So now they are supporting this, and new graphical elements SVG. By using SVG, you can develop your own image representation, and even audio files you can directly add to, you can use audio tags so that your browser understands you are referring some audio file here, so it will give you the player automatically. Okay, after that we have some APIs already embedded or included in HTML5. Geolocation. So nowadays you can see your browser wants to uh, get your location, so it will take a confirmation. Once you give the confirmation, it accesses the current location from where the machine, the website is accessed. So how that is happening is by using HTML geolocation, drag and drop features. So HTML local storage, drag and drop means you can see some elements, they can be draggable on a web page. Okay, and local storage, they are providing some local storage to store the data during the session means I already told you, from the time when you open a browser until you close that browser, for a website the session will exist. So the same way the local storage also, from the time you open the browser till you close it, the storage will exist. And even application cache and web workers SSC. So these are the things they implemented in HTML5, some API interfaces. Okay, so new semantic or structural elements, you can refer this table. Okay, HTML5 desktop browsers. Uh, this is the ranking, how which are supporting this, and these are the marks. So if you want, you can test on the link above https html5test.com. If you go there, and it will give you the result how the modern browsers are supporting the HTML5. So we can run that live and we can see. This is not our site, is a third party site which provides all the information about the latest browsers which are supporting. Okay, so the current browser score is 521 out of 555. So other browsers, if you want, you can see. So this is the actual rankings given by your this HTML5 test. So Chrome is the best among all the browsers which supports almost everything defined in HTML5 standards. Next, Firefox, after that Internet Explorer, after that Opera and Safari. Okay, so these are the main list how the browsers are supporting HTML5. Okay, and then desktop tablets which are supporting Android, Chrome, okay, Chrome browser, and then Firefox. So Android has its own browser, Internet, and Chrome browser, and then Firefox, Internet Explorer, okay, iOS, and Opera. So all these are supported in our desktop tablets, desktops and tablets. Okay, and then mobile browsers, how they are supporting HTML5. That means whatever you have written in HTML5, the sites you can access in mobile applications also. That's the advantage of HTML5. So the advantage is highly flexible, supported almost every browser, user friendly, open technology, consistent and efficient. So superlative medium for its users, easily understandable and does not require any training, is designed with feature of interaction between the web pages which makes it effective, search engine compatible, okay, maintain and update any sites, does not involve strain on the servers. So whatever you have written in HTML, JavaScript and CSS, they executes on the client browser, okay, client machine. So you need not to bother about the execution of this. You give proper HTML built on your MVC or website, ASP.NET or HTML site, that can be executed by your browsers without any issue. Okay, and it reduces the burden on the servers. Okay, so that you can implement the applications working very fastly. Okay, and it takes less time to load on the pages, web pages. So HTML validation is another important key factor which increases the web accessibility. So web pages you can feel abstracts larger masses to visit the websites. So you have to make your websites very good looking websites, then only the people will be attracted and they can see. Okay, form elements, we have input element, that is input means that is a text box. Wherever you see on web pages your first name, last name or even password you are entering, right? So all these elements are mainly used by your input tag, and then the type attribute can be any of the below. It can be text, password, reset, submit, radio, checkbox, password, button, hidden, even uh, that number, email, something like that from HTML5. So you can use those elements, those types, and it will render for you. Okay, so I will give you a simple example for that. Input type equal to, if you give text it will render a text, if you give a checkbox it will give a checkbox, if you give a radio it will give a radio, password, if you give it will render a password field. What else other text password button. Okay, so if you give a button, it will give you a button. Okay, so you can see a text box. Okay, here I will give value. So here you can see a text box, a checkbox, a radio button, and this is a password field. Okay, and then this is a button. So all these things with a single element you can use. Okay, so these are the HTML elements, and then we have text area where you have given a description field and it will be multi-line text box. So for that you can use a text area. Okay, you just close it. So this is multi-line, and this can be dragged and this can be expandable. So this is mainly HTML5 feature. That's why you are able to expand this one up to your whatever your wish. Okay, earlier this is not possible before HTML5. And then select is mainly to display some combo box or drop down list in ASP.NET. Okay, select options. Okay, you can give option, and then here you can give India. Yes. Okay, just close your select tag. You can see India and US. Okay, this is how you can build your elements. And field set and legend, these are just display and decoration elements. Okay, form tag is very important. So when you submit your data, it will be sent to a new form. All these input elements, whichever you input the data, that will be submitted to the form. I think I have already discussed this thing in our earlier classes ASP.NET. So form tag is mainly used to define where the user input data to be submitted and what is the method to submit that data. That can be a post or a get. Okay, so that method we have to define by using form tag. Okay, so form tag is very simple. So form, and then action, you can give action means where it has to go, where the form has to submit the data. So you can give new form.html, here it will be submitted, and then method equal to get or post. Okay, you can use whatever. So post is the preferred one, and then you close it. When you submit, when you click on submit button, okay, submit button is another variant. Okay, input type equal to submit, and this is also a button representation only, but this submits the data whatever you have input in your page to the new form. Okay, so that submit and everything we can see on our MVC. Okay, this is submit, it will refresh your page. Okay, see, that is going to new form.html. In action method whichever I have given, there it is trying to submit the data, but that page is not there, that's why it is giving error. So that is form tag. So form tag example something I have given here. Okay, so next we will start with CSS after this. Okay, so any doubts on this, guys? Are you guys are clear? Hello. Okay. Yeah. Beer is a new line. Beer is used to do a new line that is given here. If you are little familiar with Java or C sharp also. So if you give slash n, it will write the next the content in next line, right? So the same way in HTML, br is used to represent the data, to write the data in new line. Okay. So console.writeLine, how it writes the data into next line. So the br separates the data above, before it and after it, and it gives a new line. After br, whatever you write, it will take into the new line. Okay. So this is HTML. You just keep in mind. So meanwhile, you practice for Monday's class. Yeah, today Friday. So for Monday's class, okay. Then we'll start with CSS. So that also doesn't take much time, and then jQuery we'll go. After that, we'll start with MVC. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
guys. Happy weekend.
Okay, I have a question, Srinivas.
Yeah.
In console applications, what's the difference between read and read line?
So read and read line. Read is used to read a single character. Okay.
Single?
Read line, single character. Okay. So it,
Uh-huh.
so whenever you press a key, that will be read by your console.read. But read line waits till you click on enter. Okay.
Uh,
So when you click
okay,
on
read line.
enter, it will
Okay,
write.
read line. When you click enter, it goes to the read line. I
Yeah.
didn't get the read.
Yeah, read only. So the very first time, if you click any key, not only enter any key, only one character it
Okay,
reads, not all.
okay.
That's the difference. So
So
console.write
can
and write line. What is the difference? Write
can I
means it
use
writes in
read
the
in?
same line.
Okay,
Tries to write in
okay,
the same line.
okay. But when I use read instead read line, it's showing error.
Instead read line if you use it is giving error. So that is only
No,
meant for
instead read line. When I use read instead read line, it giving it showing error like a red line under that.
you should use the console.read that works well.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
No, didn't. It shows a red line under the read.
Okay. That then we will see in next class. Okay. Just remind me.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay. So I will upload this video. Okay. I will give you the link
okay,
on the next class. Okay.
okay, okay.
Okay. Thank you guys. What about other guy? Funny, some guy funny came right yesterday.
Yeah, he came. I called him. He didn't answer. I don't know why.
Sorry.
I called him, but he didn't answer the call. I don't know. Where is he?
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I saw him in the daytime, but I don't know where he went after that.
Okay. Okay, guys. Then we will meet on Monday.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you. Have a
okay.
nice weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye bye. Good night.